Hi, hello. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are finally going to be having my first art video. I've been promising you guys that I would do an art video for months now, and I've had different ones in the works since September of 2020. But I just kept pushing them off, mostly fear, a lot of hesitation, and just some general lack of time, because they do take a lot of time for me to be able to do these ones. But I figured since this month I am celebrating everything that Leigh Bardugo is, it would be a little bit fun to try to try to draw some of her books in my own style. And that's the first thing that we need to discuss really quickly, is actually what this video is going to be. So I am going to be taking some select books from Leigh Bardugo, and I'm going to be taking the exact design and composition and subject matter and just putting it into my own style. So it's not a redesign. I'm not changing things up. I'm not going to make it look like, oh my god, I don't even recognize what book cover this is. I'm just gonna be taking what's already designed there by these awesome designers who have done this before me and turning it into my own style. So it's gonna be still recognizable. You're probably gonna end the video and be like, oh yeah, that's still Six of Crows, but it's in my own style, which is very different from the cover of these books. Before we get into that really quickly, let's talk about Leigh Bardugo as an author. I'm reading a lot of her this month. If you followed anything else on my channel that's been coming out this past month of March 2021, in case this is in the future, this is the time period of me doing it. Rule of Wolves is coming out at the end of the month, and then at the end of April is coming out Shadow and Bone TV show. So in order to prepare for that, I am kind of rereading everything that Leigh Bardugo has written in the GrishaVerse. I don't know if I'm going to continue on to Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising rereads, but they're on kind of the back burner if I have time. I thought it'd be really fun to start with her as my first author of redesigning her, not redesigning, why do I keep saying that, of drawing her covers in my style, because I think that she's a great writer. I really like her. I totally understand if you don't come for me, I won't come for you. It's just going to be a chill time. Like any artist, I go through a constant change in my art style, and so honestly I can look back from a month or two ago and I can see a difference in how I was drawing. Maybe it's not like crazy different, but it is a little bit different. And I can even look back, of course, a year or two ago, and then it gets really different. So what am I kind of drawn to right now in the art world? I am definitely 100% drawn to symmetry. I think that it is gorgeous and beautiful, and I love things being pretty much perfectly symmetrical. So I'm going to be trying to bring a lot of that into these covers today. So even the ones like Six of Crows that aren't completely symmetrical across, I might be pulling some of that into them. I also just absolutely love muted colors. So that's great because her books do have a lot of muted colors, but maybe having like lots of muted colors with just like a pop of saturation somewhere in there, I think that that is really beautiful and really gorgeous. I also like really flat colors. I don't mind some shading, but for the most part I tend to stick with flat colors with lots of heavy to medium heavy line art. I really like my line art to help define the piece and show off what I'm working on and to help bring some points of interest. Maybe the line art is the pop of color that I'm looking at. You are curious and want to support me at the end of this video, I do have linked below my Etsy and Redbubble. What book covers am I going to be doing? Now to the main part of the video. So I am definitely going to be starting with Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, as these are some of my favorites that she has ever written. This is one of my favorite books of all time. I mean, most people freak out about it, so let's be real, it's a great book. And then I'm going to be moving on to King of Scars and Rule of Wolves, which I don't have Rule of Wolves handy because it's not March 30th yet. I'm so sad. Finish it off because 5 is a nice number. It's way nicer than 4. If you ask most graphic designers, they will agree. I'm going to be doing Shadow and Bone. I hit myself in the eye. Did you see that? Shadow and Bone. That kind of hurt, actually. I'm going to be finishing up with Shadow and Bone. I'm not going to be moving on to Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising in this one, at least. Maybe one day I'll draw their covers in my style. I think it'll be fun to start off with Six of Crows, have me walk you through it, have me talk you through my thought processes kind of while I'm doing it. And then for the rest of them, it's going to be more sped up and just like quicker to get through because I can't talk you through all 5 of these covers. Okay, so we are at my desk, and I know you can't see my desk right now, but this is my general setup that I have. So I keep a lot of crap on my desk and I kind of have to clear it off first thing. So my general setup is going to be, I have my reference kind of to my left because I am right-handed. So I like my reference to my left. I like whatever I'm drawing on in the middle, and I like my drawing utensil in my hand. So today we are going to be working in Procreate on my iPad. I don't know which one this is. I bought it years ago, like many moons ago. And it is the 10.5-inch screen, and I'm going to be working in Procreate. I'm not going to show you everything because in Procreate I do have a lot of other artwork that I'm currently working on, stuff that's not quite ready to be seen, stuff that isn't, you know, available to the public. So once we get in here, the first thing that I need to do is I wanted to figure out the dimensions of this cover. Oh, I have a 6x9. That could be nice. Let's see what that dimension looks like. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna do the 6x9 dimension because I really like that. My general dimensions that I stick with when I'm doing stuff like this is 4x6, 5x7, or 6x9. I don't tend to go too much bigger or too much, I never go smaller than that, to be honest. Or I do work a lot in square dimensions, which is also really great. First thing I like to do, because it really helps you get out of your own head, is just pick a base color. So I think in my color palettes, I had a Six of Crows one saved, but I might have deleted it. Was it this one? For the background of Six of Crows, it is gray. So the first thing I like to do is go here, pick my background color, and I'm gonna pick out kind of this gray, like a solid medium to light gray, so that the background's just not pure white. And then I'm gonna go to my palettes, and I'm actually gonna set that palette as the one that I'm working on. And then I go to canvas. If you're doing symmetrical artwork, this is the easiest way to do it. Of course, I'm not going to be doing a tutorial for everything that I'm doing here. I'm kind of going through this stuff quickly because I know what I'm doing, and like I said, this isn't a tutorial. Apologies if you get lost or confused. Maybe one day I can make a more in-depth video on this. I have my brush that I like selected. I have my color that I like selected. So the first thing I'm going to do looking at this cover is I want to get that big wing shape in there first. And so if I look at this kind of with you all right now, I think I'm gonna cut the cover here because I don't want the body of the crow in it. I'm gonna start off at the top and I'm gonna block in this kind of shape. So that's kind of the whole entire process. So if I put you guys on just kind of a speed run going through this, I think that that would be best. I'm gonna stop talking to you. You're gonna get to watch the process here now because you kind of understand. If I'm chipping away at things, it's the eraser tool. If I'm adding things, it's the brush tool. And it's gonna be what it is. Well, I'm really annoyed because I set up my screen recorder, I saw that it was working, and I got to the end of it to turn it off and save it, and it wasn't going. So I have no clue what just happened, but I have finished Six of Crows, and fortunately enough, Procreate does save a video of everything that I'm working on, so I'm gonna play the time lapse for you right now. So yeah, that was kind of the process of how I work. I have the book next to me and I work on what I'm working on, right? It is a little bit different from the original cover. I definitely took it more into my own style than I thought I was going to, because my own style just couldn't match this cover exactly perfectly, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think I might make a few final touches, and if I do, you'll have already seen them in the time lapse. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna take a break for like 5-10 minutes, look at something else, come back to it and see if there's any final changes I wanna make, and whether or not I've made them, you'll have already seen them. I'm pretty dang happy with this. I think what I'm gonna do though is after I decide whether or not I wanna make changes on this, I'm going to take a longer break. Then I think I will come back and do Crooked Kingdom later. Cool, so I went and worked out, and then I came back and showered, and I was about to go eat something, but I decided to take a look at what I just finished, and I opened it up, and I love it. I can't stop staring at it. I love it so much. I think there's like 1 or 2 really small things I'd like to add to it, but it's like really small details. I'm really happy with this. To be fair, I mean, I took someone else's design and composition and subject matter. They had already done all of the hard work, which is the thinking about this and where things need to go and everything. And I just turned it into my style. Of course I'm gonna love it. I already love this and I'm basically just remaking this into that. And then I'm gonna sit down and do the other two. I'm at least going to do Crooked Kingdoms and Six of Scars. Okay, so, oh wow. Crooked Kingdom and King of Scars before I come and talk to you guys again. So I will put the time lapse, the speed up, whatever you want to call it here. I'm going to be trying to figure out my whole entire recording of my screen, but I won't do it for these two. Maybe I'll do it for the last one so that we can kind of work through that a little bit slower than the time lapse that Procreate gives us. So here is what I was able to do for the next two books in the series. And oh yeah, and Rule of Wolves too. So here's what I was able to do for the next 3 books in the series. And here you go. Hi. So the other day I didn't actually get to Rule of Wolves. I finished the one for Six of Crows. I did the cover for Crooked Kingdom and I did the cover for There's a Small Child Outside. Apologies. I'm going to keep filming and hopefully that kid will shut up. They will not. I then went on to do the King of Scars cover, but I just wasn't happy with it and I couldn't figure out why I wasn't happy with it and it just wasn't quite what I was wanting it to be. So the reason why I didn't want to do these videos is because I can never know like how I'm gonna feel, and sometimes I just might not like something even if it's perfectly fine, and some days I might need like a week or 2 away from something and then I can come back and make it what I need it to be, but I can't like timeline that. So I actually decided to take 2 days away. It's Monday now and I'm going to look at King of Scars, my cover version, for the first time since I put it down on Saturday when I wasn't happy with it, and I'm gonna see if I can resolve anything. Okay. So I think first off, the background is too textured for me. I'm not liking that, and I don't like how dark it is. So I definitely think what I would do, and this seems counterintuitive, is add more texture on top of everything. See if that texture, that like, if I can add more of that orangey texture back in to things and help bring some of that darker texture down in the background. Next, I would say I feel like I want some more contrast in some areas. So I feel like maybe the area where like the shield behind King of Stars just feels so flat to me, but I also want things to be flatter. I really like the feathers kind of coming off. I think those are really cool, and I like how King of Scars is. I wish it was thicker, but I think overall I'm just gonna play with the contrast and stuff. So I guess I'll sit down now and do that and see if that helps at all. Okay, so I've probably spent about 10 minutes just futzing around with it and messing with it a little bit, and I am so much happier with it. So here's what it looks like. I did end up lightening up the background a little bit, some different layers for that, and then changing the color of a few things, removing a few of the elements and just changing them into some other elements. So this one definitely varied the most from the original cover, especially with, I just ignored basically everything that was kind of on the sides of this book because I didn't want to get into all of those details and trying to figure out what I wanted to keep and what I didn't want to keep. So that's where I really struggled with this one. So here's the final, here's what it looks like, here's what I decided on. I'm pretty happy with it. It's not my favorite. I think that I'm still absolutely in love with the Six of Crows one. I think it's really good. And I really like Crooked Kingdom's cover too, but I think that this is not bad for what it's trying to be. I'm happy with it is what I'm trying to say. So now I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough time to do the last two because I have kind of had to take some time for myself in this video. I don't want to rush them and I don't want to bring you anything that is like half-assed in this video, and I don't want to try to shove them in at the end and everything just turns out kind of poorly in this video. So I think unfortunately for now, that's gonna be it. Whatever, I'd love to do the rest of them another time, but for now, thank you for your patience and I thank you for understanding. I had a lot of fun doing this and it's definitely something I'd like to do again. I'm highly nervous to post this video, by the way, just so you know, so you don't have to like what I'm doing, but please be nice to me in your critiques. I went to art school. Like, I understand that my art might not be for everyone and I understand how to take a critique is what I'm trying to say, but you don't need to be mean when you do it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you don't mind this different type of art thing, video, booktube thing. Yeah. I hope you don't mind having some variety on this channel. This is something I'd love to bring to you more often, so let me know down below if you liked it. I'm having so many motorcycles in my videos recently. Let me know down below if this is something you liked and if you'd like to see me do something similar in the future or something different. I really, really enjoyed it. I don't need to keep saying that. Anyways, thank you for watching. Really? Is he coming back around? Thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I don't remember how my outro goes, but until next time, I will talk to you in the comments. Bye.